everyone, Amina here with the Float Small Business Podcast, speaking with Léa and Jessica Macklin of Northwest Treatment about how they've gotten creative as small business owners. But I think they're also going to have some great advice on mental health and how to maintain perspective during this difficult time. Thanks so much for joining, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the invite.
I have a bit of a question that's affecting me personally that I have a feeling some other people could be having some struggles around. And so maybe you can help me thereby. So not to make this a personal therapy session, but earlier this week, I read 2 articles on the news. The biggest problem is that these 2 articles combined made me feel like, what if this is a long-term thing? And basically my thoughts started to spiral. And what if this is my reality for the rest of my life? What if I had 37 good years and that was my life, and now the world is forever changed, and so are kind of my hopes and dreams, some of which included being outside, being in groups, being with people, and achieving goals that maybe I will never be able to achieve now. And I realize that that's probably extreme. It's probably beyond reality. But what do you say to me? And what do you say to those people who are at the beginning of a spiral that could get really bad?
I probably have a little bit of a different approach than Jessica does on this one.
It's always good.
Which is great.
It's half the reason we work.
I know, right? The thing I will start with is I'm always like, okay, for very first thing you need to do is take a deep breath.
I was just about to do that.
And the whole body breath, not like a tiny little crunched up breath. Relax the shoulders, pull from your diaphragm.
And the reason is when we're panicked, we don't breathe. Like, it's an automated system. It's meant to keep us safe, and it's meant to keep us alive. And it sounds very condescending sometimes, and I've had people take it that way, and it's not meant at all. I promise. It's just, I know that for myself, like as an athlete, I don't breathe when I'm in the midst of something. And so it's the very first thing to do. Always take your breath. Like,
and
you have to be able to think.
I could see the pushback being like, all right, a deep breath might make me feel better for a second, but it's not going to make that actual problem that's causing me stress go away. And so,
which is why it's step 1.
But the secret is this: it's not going to go away.
No.
That problem is there no matter what. How you choose to respond to it as opposed to react to it is going to be key in what you decide to do next. Because your mind is going to want to fix it, because we are taught we can fix it. We are taught we can control everything, when the truth is we have none. And COVID-19 has made it so that we are explicitly aware that whatever thin resemblance we had of control is completely gone.
Oof.
We don't have it. And that's okay. The only thing I really have control over by the end of my day is how I choose to act in my world and who I interact with. And that's it. And having that is a comfort, and it's also petrifying because it feels like you're right above the abyss. And it's just like any step you're going to go into it. Now, I'm not saying I'm zen by any stretch. 2 days ago, I spent most of my day in a panic attack. So, progress, right? We're being kind with ourselves. It's all about progress. It's not about perfection.
Right.
But I never went into the panic attack, because any single moment that I had it feeling in my chest, I was just like, yep, there it is. Today's the day where I'm just feeling it. And this sucks. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be awesome all the time.
And acknowledgement is a really, really great beginning. We can get to some steps, some skills, right? We can do actual structured meditation. We can do some structured, specific breathing styles, and then you can do do you want to come up with personal limits? Because Léa talked about it. We can't control other people or the world around us. We control us and our reaction, right?
No,
and
actions. We don't control reactions. Reactions are just going to be automatic. We control reactions.
Correct. And it's kind of one of those that's like, what can we do? What can we control? And just realize there's stuff that we can't, and you acknowledge it and you feel uncomfortable. And then you come up with, like, for instance, for you, like, if those articles were still good information and you want to still read those, great. But maybe you come up with a limit, like only 1 or 2 a day.
how you choose to respond to it as opposed to react to it is going to be key in what you decide to do next.
Yeah. Do you feel like maybe some people are more likely to put themselves last because they're thinking about taking care of their kids, about taking care of their employees, thinking more generously?
Yeah. I mean, I do. For instance, like it's probably it's something I had to learn for myself to be able to be like, no, I have this time. It's an hour every 2-3 weeks, depending on when I feel I need to go. And it's sacred and it's my time and I am not giving it up. And it's very difficult for most everybody to kind of go to that acknowledgement, but also just kind of having to admit that you need it. I mean, speaking as a mom, a business owner, as a daughter, as a sister, as what else am I? I don't know. Figure out any labels. I'm probably all of them. Like, it's really difficult to really put myself first sometimes, to just be like, I need to have this moment in my life to just be about me.
So, is there a part of you that wishes that people were a little more selfish?
Oh, God, yeah. I tell that to my clients all the time. I'm like, we're here to make you selfish in a good way, not in a bad way.
Right. I mean, there's also like the idea of, always put the air mask on yourself and then the children, kind of idea is that it's hard to be there for other people if you yourself don't have the support you need. And I mean, while I definitely have seen some good strides forward with mental health and addiction in general in society, it's definitely still a stigma. It's definitely still, you can't get help until you admit you might need help, that you're in a place that it's hard to get out of. And that's really hard for a lot of people.
Yeah. For anybody out there that is struggling, can they get in touch with you? Are you doing remote sessions so that if somebody really needs to talk, can they talk to you?
Yeah. Even if you kind of think you need to talk, like, you don't wait until the very last minute. It's so much harder to come back out of the hole than it is to just be like, I'm on my way down. Can I just stop here and go back up again? Like, both Jessica and I are both doing sessions, individual sessions and everything. Like, come and talk to us. We're more than happy to talk to you.
Yeah. And you're doing them over video chat?
Over Zoom.
Yeah, we are now.
Promise no penises will come into our Zoom chats, though. They're locked.
We have them locked. Yeah, no, we definitely have learned a lot in the last couple of months. Léa and I had been talking about getting into remote sessions anyway for mental health, as well as for addiction. We've been talking about this since when we took over the business in 2019, where we're like, this is where we'd like to go. And then all this crazy COVID stuff started. And so thankfully, that kind of put us in a position to move very quickly. So we are at this point completely online. We've noticed a huge uptick in our current client base, which is a lot of addiction stuff and mental health stuff, more mental health stuff coming up. And I have a lot of people now who, when they're done with their current plan, their current treatment, they're like, can I stay? Can I do more? Can I maybe switch and do more mental health? Or can I bring my partner in because now we're stuck at COVID and I'm feeling better, but we aren't communicating well.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's do, a couples therapy through Zoom, and I also have a client base that's more on the LGBTQIA kind of community. And so you get a lot of interesting questions. You get a lot of people who are stuck and maybe don't feel like a run-of-the-mill therapist understands some of that. And it's hard to explain terms, to someone and feel like you're the one teaching your therapist. And that's not always fun.
Yeah.
So it's about figuring out who fits for you.
Yeah. So really, my last question is a little bit open-ended, and it is, what do you want people at home to know?
You're not crazy. You are, and this is something that you learn when you do trauma therapy specifically, but it applies to everything. Life is just traumatic under the best of circumstances. And the thing is, we are all trying to readjust to this very abnormal time that may or may not be standard here forward, and we don't know, and there's so much uncertainty with it. And at the end of the day, you feel insane because you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And the thing I want people to know is that you're not crazy. Like, these are insane times. We are trying to respond to this the best possible way that we can. and just giving each other and ourselves a little bit more grace and a little bit more room to be able to mess up a little bit on it, because the truth is I am messing up on a daily basis, and that's okay.
If you need to go for a walk every day, that's the thing I do is I go for a walk every day with my headphones on, you know, just to have a moment to process,
Yeah.
to acknowledge this is hard. Time is really weird right now. So people are like, my day lasts forever, and yet the week, goes by in a blink of an eye. We
Yeah.
don't have a lot of structure right now, so it's not like do the things we've been doing for most of our lives, which is get up, put our pants on or dress, or whatever, and go to work, go to school, go to college. And we don't have that now. And so things are blurry. And so try to give yourself a little bit of patience and kindness, and try to do that for others.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I really do hope that I can take that advice. But I hope that people out there can find some peace in this time of turmoil, because you're right. When we are at peace, we can help others. So thank you for that.